that is, while it's overseen by professors, it is almost entirely run by students. We manage almost $400,000 of real money that we invest in stocks. Geneseo Foundation is in charge of, it's a group of alumni that's in charge of the endowment. And they gave us about $250,000 originally about 10 years ago, in 2008. And we've since grown that just through investing it in stocks to what it is today. So not too bad for a couple of kids. No finance knowledge is required. Like I've said in the email again, a lot of you are in school business. Most of you are in the school business. So you're, accounting, econ, business majors. But a lot of times, especially like if you're a freshman or sophomore, you don't take your first finance classes until either the end of your sophomore year or the beginning of your junior year. Whereas, so we wouldn't expect you to know anything, right? But we teach you a lot of what you learn in those finance classes before you even get there. I knew a lot about finance before my freshman year was even over. So it's a great place to learn. We can teach you a lot of skills that are very useful. And hey, no other club could teach you how to make money on your own time as well, which is something that a lot of us do as well. All right, so today, guys, the agenda for the meeting is that we're going to go through, usually the way that the meetings are set up, I'll give a couple of intro statements like I'm doing now. And then
give a disclosure. The disclosure kind of, yes, sir.
Okay, the opinions expressed in this Zoom call are the opinions of us personally and not the opinions of SMIF Geneseo or the Geneseo and Foundation Board. When it comes to investments, investing in stocks are inherently risky and the securities markets are subject to price volatility. Past performance is not indicative of future results, and do not take anything that we give here as professional investment advice. Okay, great. So, getting that out of the way. We won't do that every meeting, but so after that, we have the economic update, which is where I and our economics team will tell all of you about what's going on in the macro economy, kind of the things that are affecting all the stocks that we're investing in right now, the entire business market. Those can be anywhere from a few minutes to very long. I have given a couple of very long ones. I'm going to try to make those much shorter this year for those of you who were there for the yield curve discussions last year. I'm going to try not to make them that long this year. Then after that, we go into the accounting update from the accounting group that they are the ones that kind of do the compliance and the risk and the kind of behind the scenes analysis that calculate our performance. They're the glue that holds the fund together. And they'll give us an update on how much money we made this past week, where we're currently invested, what stocks, what movements we've made in terms of what stocks we've sold or bought, and give us an update there. And then I might give, and then after that, we'll go into pitches and presentations. So in this club, we do stock pitches, like I've said before. And so what we'll do is we will have anybody who has been working on a stock pitch in their groups or an economics pitch, we'll go after that and they'll tell us about the company and open it up to Q&A. And then after that, what we're going to do, so we're going to break out into the groups that we signed up for. All right, so there may be some confusion here. So I know last time we tried to do the breakout rooms, which we made a gallant effort. We really tried, but hey, it's new. We're new to Zoom, even for a big, like this is the biggest club I've ever done in Zoom. So, hey, you got to try new things. So tonight we're going to try a different solution. So if everybody has not got a chance to already, I should have shared the Google Sheets, the SMIF. Let me get the exact name here. Let me just pull that up for y'all. SMIF group sign up. It's a Google Sheets that I should have shared with everybody who came to the last meeting or sent me an email. If you do not have this currently shared with you, please email me. Do not Zoom message me because a lot will come at once. So CCH5 here. I'll just put all right. So, all right. Well, you definitely have it. Okay. So if anybody does not have the Google Sheets, please go check. Well, you can check also during the presentations because we won't break out until after we have tonight. I believe So Nick, you have a short pitch for us tonight, right? A short little thing.
Just like a update presentation thing.
Perfect. And then Zach, are you all right? Gonna be ready to go after the accounting update after him?
Yes, sir.
All right, perfect. No, Jillian, it's a different sheet. I copied it from the sheet that you made originally, but it's a different sheet. Yeah. No, it's good. It's good. Thank you for contributing. You get gold stars. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna make sure before I tell everybody to break off that I'll repeat what's gonna happen again, and I'll make sure that y'all understand. So basically, that group sign up sheet is for everybody to tell us what group they want to be in, whether that be technical trading or accounting. Well, actually, and then we also have the technology group and healthcare group. So basically, the other thing too is that some of the groups, actually, I shouldn't have said accounting because we're going to have to cap two of the groups, economics and accounting, because of the fact that too many people signed up for economics, which I'll get into. Actually, yeah, don't worry, we'll make sure everybody is satisfied with their selection, but we'll do the economic update first. So we'll get into the groups at the end. Okay, that being said, Nate, you want to pull up the slideshow and I'll just speak over you at the beginning, and
Yeah, I'll pull it up.
Professor Boyd, you have to enable sharing or
Okay. Yeah, there you go.
All right.
perfect.
Everybody see this?
I see it.
Perfect.
All right. So recently, the unemployment report for the month came out for the month of September. Part of what we look at in the Student Managed Investment Fund, part of the the economics that we look at is unemployment. Employment is a very important statistic in measuring the general performance of the economy. If people don't have jobs, they can't make money to spend on useless things they don't need, which is, as I always say, the foundation of the American economy. So looking at unemployment, obviously we had a significant spike because of the little virus we have going on. It peaked up to 14.7% back in April, which was very, very high. You can see the Great Recession peak was about 10% in October of 2009. But since April, the unemployment rate has steadily been falling, down to 7.9%. But can you go back first for 1 second? I like the go-getter attitude, but fell down from 8.4% in August. But we'll show you a graph in a second, not yet, that shows that this has kind of been decreasing. The rate at which we're recovering has been slowing. But even so, notice I'm saying that's quote unquote only 7.9% now. That is still astronomically high and almost as high as it was in the peak of 2008-09. So the unemployment rate we are definitely not out of the woods yet in terms of the economy. And we have a lot more room for us to recover, though we are still recovering. Okay, I'll hand it off.
All right, so as Connor said, the unemployment rate right now is 7.9, which only fell 0.5% from last month. Fifth consecutive month, the unemployment rate has fallen, although the rate is higher than it was in February before the pandemic started spiking, which was 4.4%. And then we also just looked at all the jobless rates from different groups in the workforce. That includes adult men, which is 7.4%, adult women 7.7%, whites 7%, and Asians 8.9%. So these jobless rates remained relatively unchanged for teenagers, who are mostly part-time workers, which is 15.9%, which is a very high number. Blacks 12.1% and Hispanics 10.3% in September. And then this is the chart that shows it. So clearly before the pandemic hit, it was about 3.5%, which is pretty normal. Jumped up in February just to 4.4, and then as the virus started spiking, it went up to 14.7. So it's going down at a very, very slow rate.
It should be said that we were in the hottest job market in 50 years. It had not been that low since the 60s, the unemployment rate before this virus came. We were really doing great, and then now, obviously, not so much. Though we are hopeful. We are hopeful, but obviously, definitely not out of the woods yet.
All right.
So, oh, Pat, you want to do this one? I'll do this one. So in terms of temporary layoffs, they fell by 1.5 million, and that's significantly lower than the high of 18.1 million in April. The temporary layoffs, they fell, but the permanent layoffs have increased as permanent job losers increased by 345,000. So you're seeing that the higher up executives have been losing their jobs and they've been continuing to lose them. Meanwhile, the temporary layoffs are beginning to start going back to work, and their firms are continuing to rehire those that were laid off in the spring. And this has just continued with layoffs. The number of persons jobless between 5 and 14 weeks decreased, along with the jobless between 15 and 26 weeks. Now, this could be a result of the CARES Act, as the stimulus relief ending in October, as people are continuing to wait on stimulus, more and more stimulus, and they're not receiving it. They're quickly finding out that they must go back to work or find work elsewhere. That plays into why it's decreasing. The number of long-term unemployed, which is greater than 27 weeks, they have been rose by 781,000, including that they're currently still unemployed and still looking for long-term work.
Are you taking this or you want me to take it?
I got it. So then the labor force participation rate, this is the amount of people that are able to work in the workforce. This is decreased by 0.3 percentage. This has been lowering the rate to 61.4, which is 2% less than in February. And we concluded that this did not have that much of an impact on the unemployment rate, which was 7.9. So
Yeah,
I think it's an important. When do you go into the difference between participation rate and unemployment?
Yeah, so the participation rate measures who is participating in the economy, and that doesn't include people who aren't looking for jobs. And the unemployment rate is like everybody. And I think it's important to highlight here in February when it was 63.4%. If we had that same number participating in our labor force right now, unemployment would be dragged up slightly higher than it is right now. So unemployment, although it would still keep decreasing, since we don't have as many people participating in our labor force, it's drawn down to 7.9%. Whereas if we still had 63.4% people contributing to our labor force, it would be around low 8%, our unemployment rate. And then another important indicator we look at is non-farm payrolls. This just measures the number of workers in the U.S., not including farm workers. So in September, that rose by 660,000 people, and that coincides with the unemployment rate falling. Improvements in the labor market have shown that the continued economic activity since reopenings of the lockdowns in the spring. Notable job gains in September. These came in industries like leisure and hospitality, retail, trade, healthcare, social assistance, and then professional and business services industries. This goes hand in hand with the pandemic, which hit temporary workers in industries like retail and trade. And then employment in the government that declined in this past month, and that was seen mostly in the state and local governments. And then lastly, an indicator we look at is the Diffusion Index. This is a measure, it's a survey of industries and firms asking if they plan on hiring. So the magic number to look at here is 50. So in September, it fell by 0.2 points, but it's still at 70.3, which means firms are planning on hiring. To put that into context, 1 year ago in September 2019, for the total private diffusion index, it was 58.1. So compared to a year ago, more firms are planning on hiring. And then segregating that into the manufacturing diffusion index, which is only 76 industries, it rose by 0.6 to 63.8. And then in comparison, that index in September 2019 was 44.7, meaning in a year ago, manufacturing firms weren't planning on hiring, and now they are planning on hiring. So it's encouraging that firms are looking to hire even as the pandemic moves on.
Why is this important? Can you just tell them why this stuff is important?
What do you mean by this stuff?
Talking about the unemployment numbers, diffusion. Why is that important to the equity markets?
Well, it's important because it gives like an overall view of our economy, and if people are working, it's important to the equity markets because I mean, markets react similar to our economy, although you could make a case now that they're being irrational. But as employment continues to rise, equity markets tend to follow. Connor, if you have anything to add.
Yeah. No, that's good. That's good. The thing here is that's important is that, like, actually, yeah, Tanner, do you have anything to add before I jump in?
Yeah, I'd say as the unemployment number goes down, firms will look to rehire more and more, and that'll just boost the economy as a whole.
Exactly. If people have jobs, they have money to spend. We want people to have more money to spend because when they spend money, the companies that were invested in make more profit, right? So the more people that have jobs, the more profit there is to be made. Generally, we would like unemployment to be between 3% and 4%. That is the goal. That is the long-term rate by the Fed. And right now is obviously above that. So the Federal Reserve and the government, hopefully, are going to look at ways to get the economy going again. So that is what they're going to try to get unemployment to go down. All right.
Exactly.
So,
thanks, guys.
Any questions?
Yeah. Does anyone have any questions? If you don't feel comfortable speaking in front of the entire group, feel free to join our breakout room after this. We'd be happy to answer any questions.
All right, sweet. Thanks, guys. All right, now let's hand it off to the accountants.
Yeah, I'm going to share my screen. Just give me 1 sec.
No problem.
Can everybody see that?
Yep.
Okay, so hi everybody. I'm Christina. I'm from the Accounting and Risk Group. So here's our little update for the day. Starting off, this is our team from the 388 class and a few friends. So here are just the people who are doing financials for each of the groups. So I'm the tech research liaison, but you can see all of our names right there if you need to get in touch with any of us. This is our scorecard as of the end of day yesterday. You'll see that interest and dividends and then also taxes and fees are at 0 right now. That's because we're only a week into this month. So yeah, and nothing has happened yet. So that's why those are like that. Yeah, next. This is our sector breakdown. As you can see, we're still looking for companies in the communications sector. So if you have any in mind, want to research some, feel free to do that. And then next to that is the equity activity so far this semester, and the other transactions were associated with the technical trading group. So those are on a different slide. These are just so far this semester, the trades we've made. These are our current holdings. They haven't really changed too much, but feel free to take a look at those real quick. Okay, and lastly, this is our technical trading. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them. I'm not sure if I can answer, but I'll try my best. Nothing. Okay, well, that's the accounting update for this week. So thanks for listening.
Thanks, Christina. All right. So that's generally, oh yeah, no, it's, we're not done yet. Nick, you're up.
Yeah, so I'll just show my thing. All right, you can see my screen, right?
Yep.
All right. So basically, for those of you who don't know, which is probably most of you, ServiceNow is a company that I presented to SMIF back in April, right at the beginning of this whole COVID thing. It was something we bought at a purchase price of about $300. Now it's at, I think it hit 500 today, which is its 52-week high. I made this back in September 8th. I made this presentation this past year. So it's obviously changed since then. Now I think they're up about 60% since they purchased. But the reason I made this presentation was because Boyd asked me if it was a good time for us to sell them and realize our gains, which means, you know, we take in that money that we could have earned from them. And I decided to make a presentation out of the whole thing to kind of give him my whole point of view on where I stand on it. So like I said, background here, we bought 20 shares at a purchase price of $309 per share. Now they trade at, this is wrong, it's $500 per share, about 50 to 60% up on the position there in the past 6 months, which is a lot. And the reason for that is their main product, which, to put it in a very simple form, is something called a Now platform. And what that does is it makes it very easy for employees to basically talk to their customers or employers talk to their customers and employees. So you can see how something like that would be very useful during COVID. And they also make it very easy to view a ton of data and stuff like that. This is what that whole Now platform looks like. So it's very easily digested, and they have really strong financials. I mean, this is something that, like, if you're in a group with people right now and you're going to be doing a presentation, these are kind of the things that multiple people in the group will be doing. So what I like to look at is not only the company itself, but the sector, their 10K and financials and stuff like that. And you know, not to get too complex about it, but you know, there's multiple things you want to look at here. And like I said, that ITSM sector, which is basically making it pretty easy to talk to employees and customers. I saw a lot of potential there at the beginning of COVID, which was why we bought into it. Now I believe that it's a hold. This was again made at the $450 price. I still believe it's a hold at $500 now. And that is based off of this whole thing that I gave here, which again, not to go into too far into detail about it, but they consistently beat earnings. They increase their revenues a lot. A lot more people are subscribing to their services, and customers who are already using them, this whole ServiceNow platform, are actually buying more product from ServiceNow. So that kind of shows that they enjoy their product and they want more of what ServiceNow has to offer. And like I said, with COVID-19, this is only going to become more important in the future. A DCF model in its most simple form is kind of like something that helps me value the company. And this is one I basically made last month. And it's, yeah, again, not to make it too complicated, but $811 per share is my five-year forecasted target price. And that is something I arrived to through this DCF model. Again, you're probably not going to have to go that far into detail when you're giving a presentation like this, but it's something that I just wanted to do to make sure that I was making a correct decision with this. Another thing that you can do when evaluating a company, which is probably a little bit easier, but also very important, is what we call a SWOT analysis. This is when you evaluate the company's strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So again, to go through the SWOT analysis really quickly, showed strong growth in revenue. This is what I was talking about, how their customers were repurchasing the products that they already had. Weaknesses, the sector is very volatile. I mean, it's something that kind of blew up because of COVID, which makes it a little bit more unpredictable, which makes it more risky. Yeah, and opportunities because of COVID, like I said, is going to be going to become more important. And they're predicting that the market size is going to reach $14.6 billion by 2025. So a lot of potential here in the future. And like I said, with strong financials, which kind of goes back more into the DCF model I made earlier, there's a lot of opportunity here as far as I believe, which goes the final slide now. What I believe to be the future of ServiceNow, which is with a growing sector, strong financials, and you know, a good quality product. I think that they're a good company to hold on to. So yeah, that was, if you guys have any questions and would like me to specify, if you're interested about any of the stuff I showed, feel free to reach out to me, but I didn't really want to get too complex about my presentation here. That's it. for me.
Thank you, Nick. Very nice. Very nice. Gotcha. Okay. So anybody, let's see. Oh, Zach, you're up next.
All right, I'll share my screen. All right, so what I'm doing today isn't going to be as in-depth as Nick's, but what I'm doing today is a pre-pitch, and this is just to see where SMIF lies in whether they like this company or not. So the company I'm doing a pre-pitch on today is Stryker Corporation, SYK, and at today's closing, it closed at $217.40. So basically what Stryker is it's a med tech company. If any of you or most of you who were here our first SMIF meeting, you saw a pitch on Insulet, PODD. And while both companies are med tech, Stryker is very different in what they do than Insulet. So what Insulet did was they sold mainly diabetes products, but what Stryker does is they sell in four main segments. That is orthopedics, which has to do with the bones and muscles, medical and surgical, which is, I will refer to it as med-surg from now on, and then neurotechnological and spine. And basically it's what it sounds like. It's the spine, and then it's everything within your head, so your brain. So what their services comprise of are implants for the joint replacements, that would be the orthopedics, surgical equipment and surgical navigation systems, that would be med-surg. And then they also do endoscopic communication systems. And for anybody that doesn't know what endoscopy is, it's if you've ever seen on TV, or if you ever, have had a relative or friend has had this, it's when they take a camera and they shove it down your throat, and it goes and it looks at your GI tract, and it looks at all your organs, and it sees, what's good, what's not. So moving on, so as part of their four segments, this is just some of the products that MedSurg has to offer within Stryker. So they produce a lot of cleaners, disinfectants, hospital gear, such as the beds, the navigation systems, and stuff that you would see in ambulances, such as the emergency patient transport. Moving on to orthopedics, this is some of the surgeries that they do. So as I said in our earlier meeting, I don't know how to pronounce the first one, and I'm not going to try, but they do that. They do foot and ankle, joint replacement, spine, which is a separate but different one, sports medicine, and trauma. And then moving on to neurotechnology and spine, they do cranial, neurovascular, and spine work. And they have Stryker itself is the corporation, but they obviously have other people that do these sorts of surgeries. They don't have their own doctors. And then for some financial stats, in 2019, their revenue was 14.9 billion, of which they took 2.1 billion in net income, which is a good profit margin or net income margin for their industry. Their market cap is $80 billion, so it's going to be a large cap stock. And their PE ratio is 50.58, whereas the market is, in parentheses, the industry is 39.1. So they're doing really good in that. And then when I was looking at their 10K and I was looking at their statement of cash flows, for the past 3 years, they've had nothing but positive cash flow, especially in their operating section, which is what we want to focus on for the company. Because you'll probably get to this with your team leaders and your section leaders, but if a company is doing horribly in their operations, but they're still surviving as a company, they're not necessarily a great company to invest in, because they're not good at what their main business is. So you want to always look at operating activities when you're looking at a company. And then finally, this is the four main segment revenue breakdown. I won't spell it out for you. You guys are old enough, you can read it. It's just a bunch of boring numbers and their segments, but basically MedSurg takes up the majority with 44%, and then so on. And does anybody have any questions? Cool.
Great. Thank you very much, Zach. Great job. All right, so here's the fun part. Okay, so
I just comment on that, just
Yeah.
to put everything into context from the academic perspective, is that before we can make a decision on what to invest in, what stocks to buy, we need to understand what the company does. How do they make money? That becomes really important because we're just not speculating. We're trying to make a decision so we understand what they do, and then we can evaluate based on the knowledge that we have of what's going on in the economy, what's going on in that area. We can understand the company and say, do we want to be in that space? And I think the question that Zach brought up was, is that a space that we see as growth happening? Do we see the need for this product growing, staying the same, or declining? And as we talked earlier, it's growing. The number of people who are getting older in the US is growing. Therefore, we know people are going to need more of these knees, hips, and such. That's not going to go away. And is it a space that there's growth? As he talks about the use of the technology, how is more technology coming in to make it better? So this is just an example to get you start thinking about what the company does, why they do it, really is the foundation of everything we do. And as you saw, Zach or Nick gave us the company that he pitched before. We looked at that and said, that makes infinite sense to us that that's going to grow. And it did. Now, and I asked the question, well, we made a ton of money on it. Shouldn't we sell it? And Nick went back. He looked at what they did. He looked at what happened. And he came back and concluded we should still hold it because he thinks there's a lot of value. So what you saw here is really, these are our two examples of what we try to do with our equities as we're managing the portfolio. So good job, both of you guys.
absolutely, absolutely. Okay, so how are these groups going to work? All right, before I continue, can you check, everybody who emailed me, check if you've gotten the Google Sheet and see, I've written all your names down at the bottom, like middle of the sheet. All right, if you could all check and then email me if you have not gotten it, and I will check that email in about 2 minutes. Okay. Now, a couple of things. The way this is going to work is now that once we get all of your emails done, I will sort the sheet based on group name. And there is one group Zoom leader assigned for each group that will copy and paste all of your emails in their group. Like the tech group will copy and paste all the names that have tech next to them. And they will email you a Zoom link. So when the time comes, and I'll make it clear, you will exit this Zoom call and go and join that one. Professor Boyd and I and the accounting group and a number of other kids will stay here. You know, in case things go wrong, you can come back to this and we'll help you out and we'll get you the right link. Sector leaders who have the Zoom links, have your emails open and be ready to respond to me if I have to track you down. Try to get your kids into your group because it used to be very easy. We used to just have people go in this corner of the room and that corner of the room. But now, obviously, it's a little more complicated. I also know that some kids might not have shown up this time. So if you have not, everybody who is here needs to pick a group. Even if they decide to switch groups later, we got to put you in something to send you in now. Otherwise, I'm going to randomly assign you either technology or healthcare. I'm going to probably just divide it by 2. All right. That being said, everybody in the economics group, we're gonna have to cut down the number of people in the group. We didn't realize. Well, I mean, obviously it's a great group, but we didn't realize just how popular it would be, and we need to cut down on some of it. So if there's anybody that was like on the fence, like, oh, maybe I'll choose econ or I'll choose technology, I would encourage you to choose technology. If you really want to do econ, that's amazing, and we'll talk more about the steps on how that's going to work when the econ people break off. Cool. Okay. Let's just let me go to this sheet real fast. Holy cow. Okay. Great. Oh, this is not Excel. Okay, great. Wow. Okay, yeah, there's even more economics than I thought. Fantastic. Okay, cool. Oh, by the way, in case I see two of you signed up for marketing. We actually have one marketing person. Wait, Julissa, are you here tonight? Curious. I don't know if she can make it or not. Okay, yes, she can make it. We actually have one marketing person, so I'm gonna have to ask the two marketing people. That was for my own use. The two marketing people that signed up, I'm gonna need you to pick a different group to be in because marketing isn't actually a group. It's just one person.
I think we
For
could
now.
have them do a lot of good stuff.
Okay, well, I guess so for tonight, maybe just stay here then. We can talk about it more. Never mind. We'll talk about it more then. That's a good point. That's a good point. I didn't think about that. I'm on the fly here, people. I'm on the fly. Okay. Everybody who did not pick a group yet, there are a lot of you. Okay. In that case, I'm going to, let's pick a fun color. Healthcare is going to be red because it's like the Red Cross. Okay. I'm piloting it in red for the group leaders so we know these are people I randomly assigned. All right. And for technology, what do we do? All right, so also healthcare and tech people, go scroll down for the blue names as well and add those to your list. All right, and I think Anthony Albanese, yeah, I don't know if your name got messed up or something, but you don't have a group next to you. And Ryan Martin, if you're here, you do not have a group next to you. I can randomly assign you, but all right. And the 388 and friends, about half of you have filled in your blanks. This is completely unacceptable. You're literally in the class. What are you doing? Get in here and fill out your names. This is ridiculous. Okay.
Connor,
So,
where is this Excel sheet?
I
not
shared,
the
it's
same
called
one from last week?
SMIF group sign up.
Okay, thank you.
I'm gonna need a link to that.
Who needs a link?
Me. Well,
All right. Well,
Can you
it's
just
shared
send
with
it in
you.
the chat?
I shared it with you.
Here.
Can I send it in the chat?
horribly confusing.
What about technicals?
I just emailed you for the technicals.
Is there going to be an alt group or no?
No, I thought we had. Nobody signed up for it. Oh, we
I don't think
got
they knew it was
one
an
per. Oh, that's
option.
AJ. Yeah, technicals is also a thing. Trading. Anybody can just put technicals or trading. And actually, we're gonna have you guys stay in the Zoom call anyway, but that'll still be useful for the. Oh, great. Oh, thanks, Jerry. All right, and Kobe, I'm gonna add your name right now. One sec. Oh wait, more. I'm sorry, I didn't realize how many people had Okay, more people emailed me than I thought. All right, hold up.
Is this the final econ number we have?
No, potentially not.
All right.
All right, I just gotta get everybody's. If your name has been added to here twice, I apologize. Everybody who just emailed me, I'm adding you to the sheet as we speak. And again, I apologize for this. Hopefully this won't happen. This will probably be the last time this has to happen, but because we're still getting the year started and Zoom is new. So you're getting to witness my face while I do Excel and I'm narrating what I'm doing. All right. All right, yeah. All right, so in case I just looked at the Zoom chat, but now I'm looking at my email again, so I won't be responding to the Zoom chat for a few minutes. This is fine. I'll have my fancy hotkeys that I have in Excel. Can't be all cool.
So you want them to go to the groups if they know where they're going?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, well, no, I'm saying not yet, because I have to make sure that the list is all, because I don't want the group leaders to have to keep coming back to send more emails out again. That's why I have to do this all right now. Because I want them to be able to, hold up. Oh, Corey will. All right.
Could I just start my group and then look back at the sheet in like a couple minutes?
Yeah. In fact, I think we're all set. I just gotta share it. I think I have all your names. Oh, healthcare. All right, yeah. And
Is accounting a group?
Anthony Albany, I got you. Healthcare. Guys, underneath healthcare, you got a few people that didn't get sorted in here. So they're in the underneath the blue and red. So I gotta go pull their names up. All right.
I don't know who just asked if accounting was a group, but there's too many people currently in accounting. So if you could choose tech, healthcare, or alternative, or what's the other one? Technical. I don't remember.
Technical.
But if you could
Technical trading.
choose something else, I would try to do that.
All right. So everybody who just emailed me again, I believe I have shared it with you now. You can come in here and fill out your names. I'll give you a few more. I'll give you a few more minutes. And again, hopefully we won't be doing this every meeting. It's just obviously because we're still setting up. All right, I'm back in the Zoom call.
I'm gonna go set up the econ group. So
Okay, yeah. So the group leaders, go ahead and go set up your groups. That's good, yeah, Nate. And just give it like 2 or 3 more minutes before you go. And make sure you search the entire sheet thoroughly, because even though I sorted it, there's some stragglers. You gotta go find them. So.
Yeah.
All right.
Econ group, you'll see an email from me in a few minutes here.
Perfect. And also, if people don't know what group they want to be, you can also potentially stick around here and we can help put you in a group as well, but also we're randomly assigning you.
And the purpose of the group is you would be doing work in that disciplinary area. And just as you heard Zach make some comments tonight about his, we heard Nick make comments about that, the economics group, everybody becomes part of a unit and you become part of this space and you learn as you go. And the groups will teach you and will bring you along fast enough that you'll be able to do amazing things like that too.
Mike Dwyer, you should have the sheet now. Let me know if you don't. All right. Hopefully they'll any minute now. Let's send out the emails. I think we'll call it there on everybody signing up. Thanks everybody. If I don't see you all, because we'll probably end the meetings after you break up. So if I don't see you all again, it's been great. I probably won't send out the school business email anymore. I'll probably just send it to everybody who's ever been a part of who's on this group sign up sheet. So obviously it's imperative. Obviously I can ask people later if they email me, but it's imperative that you're on this group sign up sheet because that's what I'll be using to build the email list. So, and I'll send y'all email next week. Great. And cool. So while we're waiting for everybody to leave, anybody got any hot stock picks they wanna throw out? No, even if you've done zero research on it, I'm totally open. This is one of the fun, huh?
Rimmel.
That's the EGN, right?
It might be.
Yeah, it might be. Yeah, I'm actually open to it, but that's that'd be a personal investment.
Oh, that's
Not for
great.
the SMIF. Not for the SMIF.
Oh,
Well, I have no cash left because I'm fully invested. But if I were to get cash again, I'd put it in that.
well, that's good to hear.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh yeah. I don't know if I told y'all my personal portfolio right now. 25% Apple, 25% Google, 25% Microsoft, and the last 25% is split evenly between DocuSign and Chegg. So far, this all happened about 2 weeks ago because I was in cash all summer because I thought the economy was going to crumble. But then I decided to say screw it. So I bought Tesla over the summer, made a 50% return on that before the stock split. Was very proud of that. And then now I decided to get back into the equity markets because I was missing out. The stock, NASDAQ and S&P 500 went down 2 weeks ago. So figured I'd jump back in. We're doing quite well, definitely. We're not supposed to try to time the market, but I definitely did.
And just as a reminder, this is not intended to give you any investment advice.
Yeah, this is not.
Past performance is not indicative of future results.
Securities markets are inherently volatile and are subject to rapid price swings.
Yeah, and that does become. We don't want to miss that.
Yeah. Because I don't know if y'all could tell by the disclaimers, but this country's favorite pastime is suing people. So you got it, especially in the finance industry. There's all kinds. In fact, for me to officially give y'all investment advice, that's what you have to take the Series 7 to 63 for. I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Yeah. So I'm not a licensed broker, so I can't give you investment advice officially.
Yeah.
I'm just a kid with a dream.
Okay, so everybody can break up, go where they are, and we'll hope it works.
Chegg, I'm up 16% on since last week. It's been ridiculous. Love that company.
Yeah, way too ridiculous.
Oh yeah, no, it's insane. I think it's gonna keep going. Zoom went up like 400%. So Chegg has gone up like only 100. So it's got room to go. Do I see another AMD? Potentially.
With what?
Chegg.
Oh.
In terms of being an amazing performer.
Okay.
Actually, shoot, it already is. It already is an amazing performer. All right, down to 32 people. So everybody here is either technical trading, accounting, or undecided. Anybody is not one of those three.
Wait, me. Wait, where am I supposed to find the econ email?
Were you not sent the econ email?
No.
Okay. You send your email in the chat.
Okay.
Yeah, I also wasn't sent the econ email.
Great. I told him to be. Okay, one sec. All right. So, one sec. I'm copying. Okay, so Julian, you're the first one that was in the Zoom chat. So I got your email. I'm going to send it. Okay. Is it Amin?
Yeah, I just got it actually.
Oh, you just got it? All right.
Yeah.
Julian, did you get it? You got it? Yeah, he just sent it.
Yeah. I just got it too.
Okay, great. Good. We got that worked out. Fantastic.
Great.
He was a little late, but that's fine. I told him to wait. That's my lead.
Okay, so we got Casey, Christina, Connor. Christina, which group are you supporting?
Tech, but I didn't know if we were supposed to go there or stay here, and I haven't gotten an email yet, so I was just chilling until I got an email.
I see now. Yeah, So I got an email from Dan. I got an email from healthcare and econ. I don't know if other people have sent out their groups yet or not. But
okay, David, where are you? Are you alt?
Yeah.
Did you have an alt group?
I don't know what's going on with alts.
I would like to join the alt group.
Okay,
let's go.
Okay, this I can handle. Don't do anything. Okay.
Wait. He's gonna put you into a breakout room together.
This I can
You
do.
can do it, Boyd. You got this.
I feel really good.
Now that we've got the group down to 20.
Now I can handle this alt, so that's good. And what you're going to do, that was David.
Yeah, if anybody's undecided.
Max.
We just do everything
on the spreadsheet to alt.
Okay. Anybody else want to go to alt?
We basically do anything that's
Not healthcare or tech.
yeah.
I should have
go
put
to
all
the-
the
I'll go to
undecideds there.
Well, out of
Can I
three.
go to alt too?
Who's that?
Yeah,
Terry
can I go to all-
Ben.
Okay.
Okay, hold on. I'll find you.
There I go.
Okay. Okay, so Ben, we're gonna put you in alt group. You should have got an invite. Okay, Dominic. You should have gotten an
I
invite.
mean, the alt people go change their name in the Google Sheets and tell them
Mitchell.
in the alt group once you get there. Tell Dave in the alt group that he wants, or I want everybody to change their name into alt in the Google Sheet.
Okay, so who we have left is Casey. What are you gonna do, Casey?
Yeah, I was originally part of the econ group, but
Yeah.
I wanted to switch to the technology group. I haven't
Okay.
gotten an email though.
Connor, can you get
Alright.
Casey
Yeah,
technology?
yeah. Casey,
Owen.
can you put your email in the group chat?
Okay, Taryn, yes, you can. Okay. So that leaves Chris. Chris, are you supposed to, which group are you supporting?
I'm
All right,
not.
Casey, can you go change your name in the Google Sheet for next time?
I'm sorry.
Can you go change your name in the Google Sheet to tech for next time?
Okay, but I guess I was doing alt.
Wait. I thought you wanted to do tech. Hold up.
Yeah,
Who was the person that wanted me to who was in the econ wanted to switch to tech?
that was me.
David,
Oh, you
if
want to
you
switch to
can,
alt though?
No, I don't want to switch to alt. I want to switch to technology.
That's what I thought.
okay. David, can you join the room and I send you the invite? David? Owen, what do you want to do?
Technical.
Okay, you're in the right spot. Michael?
Technical and trading.
Okay. Where's AJ?
All right, Casey, go change your. So when I said before, go change your name in the Google Sheet. If you could do that to tech.
Isn't AJ with Dylan and Matt Alessi?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's going to be up to
Ryan.
them. Yeah. Okay, so. Okay. So did Ben, I know, okay. David, where did you
you're
go?
back.
Hey, Professor Boyd, can you just throw me back into the breakout room? I got disconnected.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Cool. Thank you.
Okay, so what we have left is the technical group. Christina, can you, Connor, do you know where Christina and Casey need to go?
Yeah,
Casey-
I didn't get an email. But
Oh, you need Christina. You need to be in.
I also would like to be.
Can you
in
email
tech.
Kaya to tell you to be? Yeah, that's she's doing the.
Charlie. Okay. When it comes to text, Will's not here and
What's up?
AJ's not there, but Noah and Ryan, you can give them an overview of what it is and what we're going to do, and hopefully it works.
Fantastic.
Yeah, sure.
Okay,
So-
be there soon.
Basically, what we've been working on with the technical analysis is just using charts to make trades.
Perfect.
They're
All right, I'll be
more
there very soon.
short to like intermediate
All right.
term trades versus the long
All right,
term
cool.
trades that we make in SMIF. So me and Noah are still learning. AJ and Will definitely know more about it. But we're just learning how to view things in charts like moving averages, trend lines, just looking at patterns, support and resistance of stocks. That's basically what we do in the technical group.
All right, wait, sorry, last call. Any more econ people here? No? All right, cool. All right, so I'll be going over to the econ group. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, just to add a little bit on to what Ryan said, it's mostly short-term trades. You'll hear the term trading versus investing. So the technical side of trading is more short-term. Maybe swing trading is another potential name for it. But looking at short-term, mid-term trends, using the indicators Ryan talked about. And we are just getting familiar with a software called TrendSpider, which I think it'll just be the small group of us using it, but we'll be able to share the knowledge we learned from AJ and Will and continue to build on that and hopefully make the fund and our group some quick money.
Now, how can you, for those that are new to technical, what did you find was most helpful to get started on some of this?
For me personally, it was AJ and Will, mostly AJ, walking through what he looks at, what indicators he prefers to look at, and how he adds them to charts, and basically how to use the software that we use. Professor Boyd, I don't know, will TrendSpider just be kept between the four of us?
We'll be able to open it to anybody that needs to use it.
Okay. So I guess, I haven't even really dove into it that much yet, but getting firsthand experience just looking at charts first and foremost to see, price patterns and different entry and exit points and seeing what they look like first and foremost, and then being able to put them into practice and actually trade and buy and sell stocks based on what you're seeing in the charts.
Okay. Maybe this will be useful. Let me give a little, we'll see how good a potential. We've got to get to that other class in a few minutes too.
Yeah, well, that's another plug is some of those like webinars. If you can share links to the group now. Professor Boyd, are those weekly? I know it's not the exact same.
They do. We can get anybody that wants to into a virtual or an on-time class to take a look at things.
Yeah, those are excellent.
Yeah, and essentially what you're looking at a chart right now, and there's a lot of different things to look at, but generally to start with, I encourage you you can go to, let's do it even easier. Now we'll stay here for a moment. I've put in, this is mine, so I sort of got, let's just take out this. Okay. So what we normally, you start with is you're looking at what are the price patterns. These are the daily closes of the SPY, which is just any stock will do this. So we're looking at what are these patterns of closing telling us. And they have different meanings based on not only the color we're seeing, but the depth of the movement, and then whether they're full or empty. So what you're seeing here, we call these candlesticks. So we're watching these what's happening as a pattern over time. So here, the blue line you see, we're using a simple moving average of 50 days. So this is the 50-day moving average. The yellow line is the 200-day moving line. So when we're looking at trends on a pure price basis, we're looking for this to go up. We can interpret these candlesticks to conclude that this may be an upward trend. Okay, or is it a downward trend, or is it trading sideways? So that's one thing we can do with that. But patterns also come into place that when we see certain things lining up, it may indicate a time to enter or exit a trade. So this is just an example. This is the volume. We then tend to look at the relationship between volume and price. Okay, so we get into a lot of them to identify potential exit points and entry points. And there's probably hundreds of studies and graphs we can put on, but this is a very simple explanation of it. And this is one of mine. I like the Wilder Relatively Strength Index, which is really telling me over here, where at that high point, it was oversold. When we look at the relationship between price and volume, it was oversold. So at that point, once it crossed this line here, I would have probably said, I think it's time to back off. Okay, and sure enough, it did. So this is just an example. If you want to, I'll stop sharing. If you want some resources on that, just put your, let's see, who do we have here? I'll send all you guys a piece to get started on. How's that? And then next week we'll have AJ and we'll walk through some examples so you can see what it means and how it works. Nick, what would you add on technicals? You do a little technical stuff today too. What could you add to that?
My technical, as far as I go with technicals, you have to be very careful with it. I mean, I try to stray more towards investing.
Okay.
I know a lot of people, with technicals, kind of get a little bit carried away with that stuff. So be very careful with it. Make sure you still have, a good center of what company you're investing in, not just investing on charts. But
very well put.
Yeah.
Very well put.
A little bit of everything. That's what makes it work.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
Okay.
Diversified. Depends on the goal too. I mean, obviously, you're not solely looking at these to invest. These are short term.
Right.
Definitely not pumping tons of your assets into technical trading, but it's another way to make money and to enhance your financial knowledge.
Sure.
And we do know it can be indicative, okay? That you can't, if a trend is a downward trend and you see that downward trend, you better have a pretty good reason why you think that trend is going to change. Okay? Because remember, if something's on a downward slope, mathematically, unless something happens, it's going to continue to go down. A snowball going down a hill is going to get bigger and bigger. For those of you that ski, just imagine, or snowboard, imagine yourself going straight down without turning up. You're just going to pick up that speed, and until there's some other force that brings you back. So they're really good at monitoring positions and identifying exit and entry. But there's a difference between technical trading and fundamental trading. Okay. And what Nick showed you earlier is fundamental. He looked at the numbers. He looked at the technicals, but his decision was based on what the company does in fundamentals. And I probably looked at it first from the technical. It's just another approach. But our purpose here, you said it, Noah, is to make money on a short-term basis. How long on a trade could you hold? What's the time period?
I would say like maybe up to a month, but most of the ones we've done so far have been like 7 to 14 days, I would say.
Yeah, I would say 2 weeks, 10 days. We're like that.
Yeah. So what we'll do for next week, now that we know we got a group of people that are interested in that. Casey, you're still going to technical, right?
I want to join technology, but I just kind of stayed in here because I thought it was an interesting
topic. Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair. I'll send all of you guys a potential, some information where you can go on and do a webinar or a training on it so that you get some of the terminology. I threw a lot out. I know Ryan and Noah are getting the hang of this, and they got some of the terminology down. Like they didn't squirm when they said candlesticks, right?
Yeah.
But we'll get all that to you and you get going. And then the goal eventually would be to have you as a group regularly be engaging in trading activity using this strategy. Questions?
Boyd, did you see my email that I sent you? There's like one survey that you got to fill out for the registration thing. It's like 3 questions. It's just to like verify that you're our advisor.
Okay.
And then can you send me the ISP thing that Connor was talking about so I can
Yes, I
register
will.
us for the school? All right, cool. I will take care of that tomorrow then.
Okay.
All right.
I'll do that. Anything else? That's what we're doing that. Chinmay, you have experience with using technicals, don't you?
So I've been doing a lot of options trading.
Okay.
So I mean, I use different strategies. I sell options.
Okay.
Sometimes I take a spread, but not so much in equities.
Okay.
But I can do it definitely. I'd be happy to be involved with this group.
Yeah.
And I think the other group you were talking about was alternative.
Alternative, other than everybody's come back. Other than other than that's not alternative investments. That's alternative sectors. All sectors other than healthcare or technology.
Yeah, so I can move from one group to other to see what they all do. But I think I like technicals.
Yeah, we'll keep you there.
I think Ryan and Noah are in my class.
Yep.
They also talk to me in my office, so maybe I can.
Yeah.
What this group is doing.
Sure.
I think I might move to alt then.
I didn't hear you.
I said I think I might move to alt then because that's like kind of what I'm more interested in.
Okay. Let me see if I can if they're still meeting, and let me see if I can put you in there, or they're done. I can't tell.
Are you talking about alt?
Alt group, yeah.
Yeah, Dave. I think Dave closed it up.
Yeah. Michael, hold on just a second.
I'll check.
I'll just change it in the.
Yeah, do that, and then reach out to David Avalon, Avalone.
All right, sounds good.
Yeah, and he'll be happy to help you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Any other questions, or are we good? Who's next to you? Oh, there's Dave. Scary group there. Okay. With that, I wish everybody well, and we'll talk to you over the next few days. See you.
Sounds good.
See you later.